song for a movie podcast. Some are pretty good, but we'll just suck ass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch with us, we're Cinema Buns. Let's go!
You got
Hello, and
all of those racist things that you said. Hopefully that didn't get recorded.
we can barely keep Mike in line. The only reason we're able to now is because of a class he's taking.
Yeah, totally. I'm currently chained down. My language has been stripped away and now only left as this subtle husk of what it used to be my vocabulary.
But not mine. Welcome to this Airbnb here in Detroit, where where all the amenities are. We are within walking distance of your nearby crack dealer, where you can get primo entertainment for a fraction of the price.
By just looking outside of your window.
Yep.
And where every day is a gamble and a coin toss on whether or not you're going to die today.
Exactly.
Can't have shit in Detroit.
my
The
favorite letterboxed review of this movie.
Is it
But
bad?
it's also the state motto.
Not
Can't
gonna
have
lie,
shit in Detroit.
it took me to like halfway through that bit to actually figure out what you guys were making a joke of.
Oh, we were just talking
completely
about
forgot.
Detroit.
We're
in
just
general.
talking about Detroit. Did you forget the movie took place in Detroit?
No, I remembered, and I was trying to figure out why we were, because I was like, what movie were we talking about again? Oh, yeah!
Jesus Christ.
What movie are we talking about, guys?
Barbarian.
Stop. We are not doing Dave the Barbarian
Oh my
intro
God.
song.
Dang it!
I knew what you were doing, you motherfucker.
I was hoping no one would catch that bit.
No, fuck you. Hi, I'm Ritter.
I'm Mike.
And
What's up?
Our guest tonight, Dave. Hi, Dave.
I don't remember shit about the cartoon, dude.
Yeah, you just roll with it, though. But now you didn't. You ruined the bit. You ruined a bit. Look at you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have one in general.
Oh.
But like it was supposed to be some sort of like dumb barbarian guy, right?
It was a barbarian who's actually who's a huge pacifist and actually doesn't want to be a barbarian.
But he's like insanely strong.
He's
correct?
he's like a naturally born, really he's
Okay,
he's so
I
built
leave for
to be a
10
barbarian.
seconds and we're talking about Dave the Barbarian again. Mike, shut the fuck up!
I know, I'm a Cancer. Anyways.
No, we're talking about
Barbie
Barbarian,
Ryan.
the 2022 thriller? Dark
it's a
comedy?
horror movie. Watch it because it's a horror movie. Get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Please get your foot in the door.
It was definitely more, in my opinion, as a thriller, though, than it
Yeah.
was a horror movie.
Directed by Zach Kreger of Whitest Kids You Know. And you very much see that writing in this movie. And when I say that, I mean because it has a decent flow to events. Like,
It's the sense of humor, and I guess also kind of like the jokes are very much like just whitest kids.
yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you
That-
guys discover this movie?
I saw a trailer for it like a couple months before it came out, and I went, I want to see that movie.
Well, no, it's Barbarian's marketing has been like pretty good in that it's been advertised on a lot. It was getting a lot of buzz.
It shows you nothing,
Yeah.
and it tells you nothing.
And well, it has kind of like now when I initially saw the trailer, it was very just kind of like cliched and uninteresting.
Yeah.
It was just a woman getting tricked into like a horror movie situation
Yeah.
because she gets accidentally booked into an Airbnb the same time as someone else.
Double
Yeah.
booked.
Oh no! But like that's sort of like just a premise to get you into the door.
Yeah.
And
Just like it was a premise to get her into the door.
it's probably why a lot of people watched it. However, what got me interested was that Zach Kreger's name showed up, and everyone was like, Yo, a lot of Why Is Kids fans were coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Where were you motherfuckers when Miss March released? Okay. Fucking no one saw that movie.
Kevin's like, we need them
Where's-
to roll up.
I wanted to. I want to go to a convention one day and someone is dressed as Horse Dick Mpeg, or as two lesbians and a doorknob.
Wait, what
You-
movie is this?
This is Miss March, and I'm guessing you guys never saw it.
Never heard of
I'm
it.
one of like 5 people that saw this movie.
Which means that's going to be the next episode we do.
I am vaguely curious, but also I completely believed you guys and trusted you guys to take me to this movie. So
Yeah.
It was so this is like another. A lot of people equate this to a Jordan Peele like situation. You know,
100%.
a sketch comedy person breaks into horror movie
Now-
directing.
Now, yeah, it's sketch comedy, and there's Whitest Kids comedy in there, but this movie knows how to make you tense and how to build suspense, I think. And so
yeah,
Everything was done like proficiently. Like,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
if
nothing felt amateurish.
if the first 40 minutes was just like that and then like stretched out throughout the entire runtime, but like it had the same amount of like quality and like writing, that would have been just a regular ass horror movie.
Yeah.
But because he's Zach Kreger, after like the 40-ish minute mark, then
He starts his next movie because he's impatient.
right in the middle of the movie.
And literally, my wife is coming back from the bathroom and goes, "Am I in the right theater?" And I literally have to grab her and go, "Yes, this is the right movie." She's like, "What the fuck happened?" Literally, I will tell you later.
yeah, I remember Kevin sitting next to me, and he's just like, "You thought this was the main character?"
Yeah. No.
but like, yeah, a lot of you guys have probably either have been told by your friends to watch this movie. The best, this is one of those situations where like the best way to experience this is to go in blind.
yeah,
I've gone into a few movies blind. I think this has been the best blind experience, though. 100%.
I mean, I go in blind all the time.
Yeah. There's nothing new for Mike. But I really liked the lighting in this movie a lot.
yeah,
And most of the time it's just normal lighting and stuff, but during the like creepier horror bits and stuff, I really like where they put enough light into the scene to orient you. You're not lost on where the character is or whatever, but it's just enough to when at the edges you see the things happening. And it adds that level of creepiness where it's just like, oh, motherfucker, no.
So yeah, this movie shows just like how competent Zach would be if he were to kind of like to kind of just like mild spoilers. This isn't like a straight horror film, so which is really why I wanted to watch it in the first place. But like, if he were to just do a kind of a straight horror movie, if he wanted to make a movie for like $20,000 and then make $1 billion, he could easily do that.
100%. I loved the set of Detroit. It's really crazy he was able to get the city to just destroy a whole neighborhood for him.
There's a
Yeah,
I think
honestly.
it's I
Cool.
think it's a season 4 bit. There's a sketch where a Whitest Kid sketch where I think it's Trevor Moore is hanging out with like some black dudes. No, someone else. I mean, I think it's someone else is hanging out with some like black dudes, and Trevor Moore does a disclaimer and goes like, "Don't worry, he's in front of a green screen. He's not actually there." And so like that's what it's like. Don't worry, he's not actually filming in Detroit. It's all special effects. Don't
He's
worry. Zach Kreger is safe.
This movie did really well to make me want to know more by the end of it, because it had like it had another plot line of just I wanted to know how all of that happened, even though they kind of explained it.
What other plot line?
The old man.
We got that entire like story.
I mean, like, it gives you enough. You could just kind of like apply everything.
But imagine like a horror movie based on like that, like someone
Just
trying.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, you could.
That's what I'm saying.
There are actually a bunch of creatures.
There is. It's called Don't Breathe.
There are a bunch of characters that are in here that could like have their own movie. This movie could actually follow. The camera could follow like several characters in the movie, and they could.
I would
have
love
their entire
to know
movie on
about
their, like,
Water
point of
Tower homeless man. I want to know his life and his
Oh man.
experiences.
Those Detroit cops.
Yep.
The guy from the '80s. President Reagan. You know.
The Ron. Fucking the music guy who started the music group.
Oh, Keith. Yeah, Bill
Yeah.
Skarsgård's character.
Yeah. Surprise. Skarsgård does not play the villain in this movie, even though he came fresh off of Pennywise. I saw him and I'm like,
What are you doing?
I'm almost positive he's not going to be the villain, right? He's not, and I'm like, oh, okay, I was right. Good.
We're gonna try really hard not to spoil. Anything.
We're
Yeah.
trying not to get into spoiler territory yet. We'll go into it later.
I feel like we have to. Like this.
Like soon. It's
Yeah.
hard to talk about this movie without
Because
spoiling anything.
So okay, let's just do like.
So I think we can all kind of like agree that this was like a movie we really enjoyed, right?
I would say a must watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely actually enjoyed this, even though I.
So
jumped
something
times.
that because like I really do want to get people into the door. And like what's great about this movie is that it's you have no idea where anything is going in like a good way, because like, you know, a movie will like just meander and you're like, I have no idea what's going on and I'm bored. This is like, I have no idea what's going on.
And I will say the transitions between comedy and horror bits is really well done.
Yeah.
Because like
Flows so fast.
when it goes from comedy into horror, it like the horror elements just kind of sneak in there bit by bit until the comedy just runs out. And then meanwhile, it's horror, comedy, horror, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's something that Zach and Jordan Peele do like proficiently. Is that they know how to make the dialogue funny, but still grounded into this is a horror movie.
And what I see in a lot of movies that try to do comedy and like genres that aren't necessarily comedic is they'll do a comedy bit, but the comedy bit grinds the entire flow of the movie to a fucking halt.
Right.
And it fucks up the flow of the movie. It takes you out of the immersion. In this movie, I feel like they do it. He writes it in a way that feels so natural that it allows things to play off of, you know, the comedy bits are just people talking and reacting like they would, and like any normal person would.
There is also just like some physical comedy that didn't feel out of place.
No.
It still like kept you in. I mean, like, I didn't feel scared or any like tension, honestly, throughout this entire movie.
Wait, really? I guess
that's
I
it.
don't know.
I
That
was getting
beginning
so
bit,
much. I was getting some anxiety, man. I was like, oh
my
no.
feet were sweating at
Yeah.
the beginning where I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, that is one thing I did have a gripe with this movie, is that the girl, they build her character up, make her, she's distrustful of like strangers and just men.
She's
because of
she's just
like abusive relationship she was in.
she's also just kind of like a smart person.
Yeah. Except she does so many dumb things in a row in like a 5-minute period that I just am immediately like, what the fuck? Stop! Stop! We like showed that she was smart and careful and shit. And then as soon as the plot needed it to, she was a fucking moron who just wouldn't like control herself.
I don't think she was a complete moron. I think
Dude.
it was grounded in some level of like.
You really need a toilet paper, man.
Like you. I think of it in the sense like when you're scared or fearful, it's very hard to, like, when you're in a situation like that, to think straight.
No, okay, no.
Especially because
I'm gonna quash.
There
that
were there
right
were
now.
some decisions. Don't get me wrong. Not all of her decisions were like.
Now hold on. In the heat of the moment, getting chased or whatever, I can forgive whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about, and this is in the trailer, so it's not too spoilery. When she's in the basement, she discovers the secret hallway and the fucking murder room. But she's just like, she discovers the hidden door and stuff. She's like, I have no source of light except for a mirror connect that reflects a ceiling light.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go explore. Fuck off! No, I'm out. Fuck that. I'll. And the joke my wife and I kept making to each other was like, dude, I would just, cause she had it like a nice SUV car.
Mm-hmm.
There are parking lots in Detroit you can just fucking park in and sleep overnight.
Right.
Like, fucking go to a Walmart parking lot underneath one of the lights and just take a nap. There are safer places to go.
Mm-hmm.
No, but there's a character that a bit of like characterization on her parts that I'll try to see if I can like convince you, like redeem her character for you.
But does it have to
like,
be
later
in the
on.
spoiler section?
Yeah, I mean like it's specific things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought all the acting was decent.
I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
thought it was good.
everyone did a good job. No one felt like stiff in their reading or anything. Everything felt fluid, felt organic.
I mean like this is one of
my
this and Tusk are one of my favorite Justin Long performances.
Yeah.
It's a series. It's a duo, and I'm hoping he gets a third one so we can have a triptych of Justin Long in unfortunate situations.
And my favorite line read in film history now is Justin Long at the bar with his bro.
Yeah. We can talk about that in spoilers.
Yeah, because that fucking read.
Oh my
Kevin
God.
and I are dying. No,
We were
I think
all dying.
three
We
of
were
us,
all dying,
as
yeah.
he's saying his lines. We're all just like, "Oh my God!" And I think we were the only ones laughing in
Yeah.
the whole auditorium.
Everyone looked at us
because
for sure.
yeah, and people were looking at us like, "Why are they laughing? Is this funny?" And we're just like, "What the fuck?" Oh my God.
I think Kevin's lines for that moment were, "He's my hero."
Oh fuck. The special effects were really good.
Yeah.
Of what they had, because they didn't have like a lot. It was pretty cool. Like they had mostly just kind of like very practical stuff.
Because what was the budget for the movie?
I don't know.
Hold on.
but it's
Price is
probably-
Right rules. What does everyone think the budget for the movie was?
If I say $1, that means I win. If like Mike goes over, right?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
What? So as long as I don't go. Wait. So if I go way over it, then I lose.
If you go over, you lose.
So what if I say what if I say $2?
Ah shit.
No kidding. Let's
Actual guesses.
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'm gonna do like kind of just low 6 digits. I don't know, 120,000.
120,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 1.2 million.
Mike wins.
Oh my god.
$4 million was the budget.
Yeah!
Wow, good for him.
Yeah.
Also, like, to get like kind of a big production studio, and distributor, like
Yeah.
just kind of like off the bat.
So just to give everyone some kind of like reference of similar-ish movies, The Invitation, that budget was $10 million. Silent House, starring Elizabeth Olsen, was $2 million.
I never saw any of those.
You don't need to. But it's good that he got that level of budget, but he also used that budget super well.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the makeup, special effects, everything that was in there, none of it looked cheap. All of it looked really good. And I think CGI was used maybe twice.
I mean, like you can you can insert CGI into anything to just
Yeah.
fill out the city skyline,
Yeah.
to change the color of something.
But like
so.
I've seen horror movies with this similar like level of budget and stuff. Fucking use the shittiest CGI just to save on time. But
I wonder how Detroit PD handled this. They were like, that's about right.
I bet you they hired PD to just show up, and they're like, "Yeah, we know we're shit."
God.
Okay, we've been beating around the bush so long.
Okay, recommendations then.
Yes, must see.
Definitely go watch.
Bring your family.
Yes. Okay.
It's not a family
Spoiler.
film. Don't
Spoiler.
do that.
3, 2, 1. Oh my God. Okay. Justin Long's read. Holy
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
So a bunch of horror shit happens. So she discovers the fucking murder hallway.
Yeah, so about 40 minutes into the movie,
it becomes a new movie.
so her and Bill Skarsgård go down the murder basement, and then Bill Skarsgård gets his head bashed into the wall, and
Yeah.
then smash cut to Justin Long driving down the California, driving down the California beaches, happy-go-lucky, getting accused of rape.
Yeah. So I actually do want to talk about that scene of her and Skarsgård. Okay. So she finds the hallway with the murder room.
Your gripe is that she went down the door,
She went down it at all. If I'm in an Airbnb and I find the janky ass rope pull to secret hallway and mysterious room at the end, I'm out. Fuck that. I'll sleep in my goddamn car.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care. But she has to go look in. She finds the murder room. As soon as she finds that, she does do the right thing of like, no. Because then she discovers the fucking like stone stairway.
No, she does not discover that on the first go. She
Oh,
just
that's
she
right.
only sees the room, and then she
the
tries
room with the bucket.
the room
the
with
bucket, the blood on the wall, the dirty mattress.
So
and shit.
she runs back up to the.
Which good for her. She runs back. She's like, "We have to go."
Oh no,
I'm
she
leaving."
she goes through the window.
door was locked.
The door was locked.
So she had to like smash
Oh,
through the
yeah.
window.
Yeah.
Or not smash it through the
She
window.
was
She had
going
get Bill
to,
Skarsgård.
and then the dude come back and he's like, "What's going on?"
And she's like, "We gotta go." He's like, "Let me check it out." And you know what? What's interesting is that he was written in a way to where you weren't
You know that
quite sure.
Keith's last name is Herring and his middle name is Red.
Is it really?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
No, I'm making that up, but it's
But
like
he was a red herring.
He was a red herring.
Because he legitimately seems like just a super nervous, like artsy guy. But then there are some times where you're like, okay, it feels like there's something
There's
darker
off,
to him.
yeah.
But like, because he wasn't necessarily gaslighting her or anything, but he did kind of mansplain, like, okay, just calm down. We're not just
Right.
gonna leave just because of something weird you saw in the basement. How about this? I'll go look, and I find it. We can go. And that was a little weird, but
Well, it made sense because
I can-
to be fair, she was giving him some weird vibes too.
Yes, I can see his level of skepticism. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But so
like sneaking up on him when he was sleeping and stuff like
yeah,
that. And
but he goes down. She's like, "Did you find it?" He's like, "Yeah." And then absolutely dead silence. She follows him and then follows into the fucking like catacombs that is down there.
it should be stated that so the first time she goes down, the door locks on her when it closes. So she had to make sure she put like a chair.
Yeah,
so you're thinking like,
which
okay,
smart.
Yeah, good
okay.
move.
But she goes down and like again, here's another moment where stranger who I spent a night with, but they connected and stuff. If he survived, you would have seen them like probably go on a date or something. But like as soon as you discover the catacomb-esque and he's
the
just
super basement, the second basement.
the super
Yeah,
basement,
second basement, yeah.
and then like you call out and he's like, "Help!" That's when I go, "Calling the cops. Goodbye. I'm heading out."
No, but like so I would argue that she has like kind of just like this sense of like justice.
Yeah, like
Because even though she was like scared, she would still want Keith to be alive and like help him out. And this is also true for Justin Long's character because she was the first one to escape initially, and so she went to go get the cops so that she could try to save Justin. And then when the cops fuck up, she's went
like,
down.
someone has to do the right thing.
Yeah.
right.
So
And I agree with you on
so
that.
she has like kind of like like kind of just like a small hero complex. Like she needs to save them. But I'm also of the opinion, there's been like quite a bit of setup in the beginning, that Keith did want to plan something malicious, like in this movie, before he got killed.
Yeah.
And then a new bad guy showed up. I think he is still a bad guy. Like, he was still planning to do something.
We have no proof of that though.
The only things I can argue is that someone had to have set up the Airbnb / home away.
Yeah, but that we
booking.
know that's from the one lady.
We found out
that-
it's the like rental management.
Yeah,
group
what's her
that
name
just
again?
Susan. I don't know.
Yeah, Susan's the bad guy.
No,
Remember?
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Either way, the thing is that happens in real life.
Yeah.
It's just because the rental management company doesn't know how to do their fucking job.
Yeah.
So I don't think he purposely set up to double book with some random person.
Yeah. Plus,
And-
he was there like the day before, so he was. It's not like he was there to showed up the day of.
And like I agree with you, there definitely is something off about him that isn't just like awkward, quirky
Right.
music man. There's something there where it's like, something's not
entirely right.
100% right with you,
Yeah.
but
Not
you
enough
know,
to warrant
there's not
you.
enough of your head left for me to contemplate that anymore. But no, that fucking scene where she's pointing the flashlight at him. He's like, we have to get the fuck out of here. We have to go. And then just dunk, just creeps in
Yeah,
through the
right.
darkness. It's just like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh man, that got me good.
Okay. Every scene with her,
The big
Wait.
titty monster.
yes, where the light is just goes into the hallway and fades into darkness, and then you just see her creeping on the very edge of
Yeah.
the light. That was tickling a specific fight or flight in my brain that I'm like, fuck that. No, a bitch is going down or I'm leaving. Or both are happening. It just depends on which order.
That it was.
That was tickling a special part in my brain.
That
where I'm
movie,
like,
this movie
no.
was
Well,
wild.
I'm glad that that specific like movie monster was functioning correctly. But like I
Yeah.
said, I wasn't scared or like.
Must be nice.
I mean, like I didn't care for the horror part
Listen,
or in general.
you used to live in Tempe. We know you're used to the crackheads. Okay.
This is beyond. This is evolved.
Evolved.
This is a mommy milker's incest monster.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's an incest monster that's raised on mommy milkers. It's
This is the evolution of the crackhead class. This is when it becomes the profession tree.
no, there's no. It's the reason it's so refined. There's not a bit of crack in there.
No.
It's all just straight mommy milkers, and the family tree is just a straight line.
Yeah. God. I do like just some of the bits where like when she initially discovers the like basement thing, she has an interview with the lady and she tells her, I don't remember what the neighborhood name was she said she was staying at.
Yeah,
But she said it and the lady was like, you shouldn't be there. She's like, I know. It was just kind of,
Yeah.
there wasn't much available because of some conference or whatever. So, and she's like, no, you should not be staying there. You can come. I've got somewhere. No, it's fine. It's fine. Because it was like a job interview. But like
Man, that boss really tried.
that should.
That should
like,
be the biggest
There was
warning, like,
already
oh.
creepy shit happening, but you should already be aware if like the main people who supposedly live in Detroit are like, no, listen, I just met you. You can stay at my place. You should not stay in that neighborhood.
To be fair, though, she was already kind of taking a liking to the dude, though.
I know.
And so she kind of wanted to go
And
see him again.
But then when she gets back to the house, a random homeless man is like, hey, little girl.
Yeah.
Hey, little girl, come on out of there. And obviously, like any normal person, you're like, what the fuck? Get in the house.
Yeah, that homeless man has not talked to someone in years.
No. But yeah, and he gets his head bashed in. Hard cut. Justin Long. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Yeah, gets accused of rape.
Loses his
And-
job. Or
Again,
his,
feels like a completely new movie.
Uh-huh.
And
it seems like a comedy skit of this man just trying to get his life back together
Yeah.
after. And you're like, what?
so we've done enough preamble to talk about the best line read ever. Fucking, okay, he goes to a bar with his buddy,
Because he goes to Detroit to go check out the house that happens that he happens to own.
Because he has to sell like his properties in order to pay the like legal fees and stuff like that.
To stay afloat.
So he's staying in his own Airbnb.
Yeah. And what's funny is he shows up and all their shit's still there, and he
Yeah.
calls the management. They're like, "Oh yeah, hi," and he's like, "What the fuck? Did they check out? Yeah, there's no one staying there. But why is everyone's shit here? Well, the maids don't show up until the new booking goes in." And he's like, "What type of thing?"
Which is why I think it's not Bonnie's it's not her being dumb. I think she just like legitimately
I'm not
didn't
saying
know.
it was her being dumb.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
but-
saying it's how the company runs it in general.
That's just the company.
That's just
not
bad
carrying-
management.
Yeah, it's just bad management.
But
I've heard,
again,
I've seen
I
it.
do agree with Justin Long.
No, but that's why I think that Keith set up the double booking
how
I don't think he could.
How would
dude.
he have
There's
set
no
it up?
way he could have.
by having a fake like Airbnb posting.
he did it through HomeAway.
He said he booked himself for HomeAway, and that Tess was.
But
booked in
no,
through
but
Airbnb.
remember he gave her his phone
Yeah.
and she checked and saw that it was like a legit booking.
She saw the screen that he showed.
No, she like took it
She
and then
was
looked at
scrolling.
it. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
like pressed on stuff. No,
Yeah.
like if it was just a
screenshot,
screenshot,
yeah, that-
she would have figured that out pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
You could write anything to make it look legit.
Dude, I feel like that's way
I feel like
more-
you really want this
You
man
just
to
want
be a
Keith
villain.
yeah.
Well,
Listen, he did
because,
a
like,
great job as Pennywise. That does not mean he's Pennywise too.
I was like halfway expecting the movie director when Tess was like interviewing and saying that there's a medical conference for her to say like there is no medical conference.
But there was.
No, you don't know that.
No, because
No.
remember Tess also was calling places and
Yeah.
they were all booked.
She only called late at night
Okay.
when like everyone else
But
was,
they
like,
were
booked.
saying they were booked and
Yeah.
they didn't have any room.
She only called one hotel.
That we saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Keith was able to convince her to stop trying.
Listen,
I feel like-
hold on,
anyways.
hold on. We're not disagreeing that there's something dark about Keith.
Yeah.
What we're disagreeing on is that he
Who
has
set the double booking?
Yeah. Yeah.
that he set up the double booking. That's the only thing we're arguing.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Because like if
Does it
there's 2 appointments set up, Bonnie should easily see.
She's obviously bad at her job. Even what's the guy's name that owns the
Justin
place?
Long. We're just saying Justin Long.
called them, and he knows they're kind of shitty.
Because even he brought, and the point he brought up that I agree with is,
Like-
what do you mean the maids only come before the next
Yeah.
booking? The place could be utterly destroyed, and we wouldn't find out until someone else booked. What type of shit is that?
Yeah.
And then she's like, I don't appreciate this tone. You need to calm down. And then hangs up on him. But I'm like, no, he has a point.
And
Like,
then on top of
if
that-
it could be trashed for like weeks and no one would know, and then whatever damage is done or whatever could be way worse because no one checked.
It
Yeah,
should
and
also
the-
be stated, you can judge a lot of how a company is ran by how their secretary treats you.
Yeah.
And she
They're-
kind of
you mean
treated him
they're
like a
the
jack all.
front desk-
Whoa, hold on, Mike. That's not very progressive of you to think automatically that she's a secretary.
Well,
She could be the owner.
She could be the manager or the owner. And guess what? If you treat one of the people you
The
work with
property
like
manager.
that, that's
Yeah.
kind of terrible business management.
Anyways, but
Regardless.
him and his boy go to a bar because he's trying to unwind, and he keeps like everyone like it's showing up in the news and stuff. He's getting calls, and his boy's like, "Hey, listen, I love you, man, and I trust you.
You're my boy.
but
You know I'm
whatever-
gonna believe
you're my
you.
boy. but
I've been reading what other people have saying about you. I've read the stuff on the internet.
I just want to
I'll
hear
hear
it
from
from
you.
you. Did it happen, man? Well, listen, man.
Yeah, we fucked, yeah.
we fucked. She was resistant, but you know I'm a persistent guy. I'm like
You know,
a tiger.
no,
It's like-
remember,
she
she
said-
took a little convincing.
Yeah.
He's like-
I'm a persistent.
And I was like, but she said no though, right? It's like
at first,
yeah, at first.
yeah. He's like, you know, I'm like a tiger. I hunt, and the whole time we're like, oh my fucking god, he did it.
Kevin's like, oh, my hero.
It's like oh my god, this based Sigma Chad.
Just the
and
fuck.
he caps the night with having a drunk phone call with
To
her.
her,
Yeah.
saying,
even
like,
though
I'm
all
sorry.
his like lawyers and the people who like his agents are like, you shouldn't have left the state, and under no circumstance should you at all contact her for any reason. And no, yeah, that scene was just like, oh my fucking god. You know, I'm a person. She took some convincing, but I got her to
my
fuck.
God.
It was just like, Jesus Christ. It's such an unapologetic and I feel like organic way to show he's just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
Just when you think that he could have some sort of sympathy for him because he had like a phone call with his mother and she's like very sweet, and then he like, nope, this is his character.
and like at first, like when he gets the call about like she's accusing you of rape, he looks like he looks like this came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like he sees this like she's lying. That didn't happen, like stuff, and like depending on who you are, you could see one side or the other. But then it just
The moment he
fucking hammers that shit
yeah,
in.
the moment he like
He
he
starts
just
talking.
admitted it. Yeah.
We're just like but no, the next best part is when he goes to the basement and he finds a hidden room.
Those are my favorite bits.
Ugh.
And he finds the and he goes,
The room with the bucket.
he finds the room with the bucket and he's like, hard cut to laptop. Can you consider basement part of square footage? No, but some places you can. Oh yeah,
says grab it.
immediate cut to tape measure, measuring the square footage, and we're like, oh my fucking god. He discovers the fucking catacomb stairwell, and
He
he
finds
goes,
the second basement.
And
And he's like, hell
Huh.
yeah.
he goes, huh? Get out that tape measure, boys.
Smash
Let's
cut to
go."
him going down the steps with the tape measure. He sees the small alcove with body cages, human-sized cages, and he's like, huh. And then he starts measuring that. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
god.
he looks at it and he goes, huh, gross. Just keeps going.
No, he's like, what the fuck?
Measure.
Smash cut
Yeah.
to taking the tape.
Um,
Oh god, that was so good.
because I'm trying to remember. He makes it a good way in.
He gets to the video room, the pink video room.
Yeah, and that's-
before like the tape, he accidentally releases it and it makes a bunch of noise.
That's right. And he hears a from deep in, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then, like again, out of the corner of the flashlight, you just see her peeking in, and he's like, "Oh my god!"
And then he falls in.
Right.
Does he fall in or get dragged in?
He,
No, he
he falls
gets
in
dragged.
because it's just a hole in the wall.
No,
Yeah,
because-
yeah, because he runs and then he falls in. I thought.
she fell in because when she was
Tess?
running, yeah, she fell in, and then the gate got closed. He got thrown in there
Oh, okay.
because he went
I
to
can
go
remember.
up to the exit, and she grabbed him and dragged him back, and then threw him in there because then Tess came up and was like, "Shh," and he's like, "Oh my god!" And then the fucking the bottle came in, and it was like, dude, like that scene just reminded me of Don't Breathe.
Okay.
The fucking turkey baster scene.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. But
Oh,
I'm
dude.
inferring some stuff, and I'm already not a
Yeah.
fan.
Who did it better? Justin Long drinking dirty booby milk, or Leonardo DiCaprio eating
a raw liver.
Who deserves the Oscar this season?
I don't know, Justin Long. He did good. No,
Tess was all for it. She was like, "Yeah, give me that nipple."
she was smart. She's like,
She understood what
She had a
she
survival
do-
instinct.
Yeah, she's like, she doesn't want the baby to be upset. She just wants a baby. Calm down. And he's like, what do you mean calm down? And I that kind of built to her character more, where she's just like, listen, I've already been figuring out how this works. Just fucking listen to me.
Uh-huh.
I do love the build up of the mutant woman and the psychopath guy, of like that flashback back to the like 80s,
Yeah.
and then jump cut back to now and kind of showing like what happened and how that progressed and whatnot. And yeah, you find out the crazy homeless man, he's like, no, I tried to warn you, don't go in that house.
And they were all like, dude.
Because the lady almost grabs her as she crawls out of the fucking window from the basement, and he's like, "There's someone in there." He's like, "I know. She's been here for years. You need to leave. We need to go." And the one thing he said, I was a little disappointed from the payoff of this when he's like, "There are worse things than her down there." As soon as he said that, I went, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Yeah, I was wondering too.
I was 100% expecting just a herd or pack of mutant incest babies. Like,
Just crawling around.
I think morally, the biggest monster is the serial rapist.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
In the bed.
100%. But that statement left a lot to be the imagination.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck does that mean? But no, yeah. And then later on in the
I think from his point of view, though, he would just see a bunch of women dragged into that house and then never seen again. So, yeah.
Which, yeah. But I do appreciate a hard comedy cut later where, like, fast forward, her and Justin Long get out, but they're at the fucking water tower. And she's like, "How do you know she won't come here?" I've been staying in this bitch for 40 years. And that bitch ain't never coming.
And
Wall
boom.
crumbles behind him, and he gets his arm ripped off. It was like, oh!
And then she started beating him with it.
Yeah,
Dude.
this is a comedy sketch.
Dude, all the gore bits are so good. They don't feel...
So they're...
What's the word?
And just when you think,
Cheap?
like...
Yeah, they don't feel cheap, and they don't feel overused either.
Just when you think, like, Jake can't get... And it can't be
Oh,
any more of, like...
They get on top of the water. He fucking drops the gun because he's a putz. And they're both up there, and then the mutant lady, I can get away, but you need to distract her. Chucks her off and goes, bye!
And what makes you feel bad for the monster is the big, gigantic lady.
Here's
She,
the thing.
like, jumps off to, like, help her.
I have not seen a movie where I have done a faster 180 of, like, holy shit, burn this bitch, to oh, I feel bad for her.
Now you know her background,
I
you're
kind of get why she's like this, and she doesn't deserve it. So it's just one of those things where it's like, the movie is so well written because there's a lot of movies where
you know a lot about everyone in this movie.
Exactly. And none of the characterization or, like, redemption or anything feels unwarranted or rushed.
Right.
Because there are plenty of movies that try to do that. Like, fucking King of the Monsters, Godzilla, where the fucking mom has been part of this bioterrorism group the whole time. And then suddenly she gets a redemption arc because the only thing she wants to do is save her daughter, but not anyone else. Because she's literally like, I don't care who else dies. Mm-hmm. And you're supposed to feel bad for her for some reason.
Yeah.
Or fucking Hocus Pocus 2. They try to do a redemption for the Sanderson sisters.
Because they're beloved.
Even though they literally eat children.
Yeah.
But, you know, okay.
No, it was the 90s of a different time.
It's fucking weird. But, and so when the conclusion of the movie happens, it feels earned, and
everyone kind of has the ending you would expect. So, like, I kind of, like, knew deep down that Tess would survive through all of this. She's too smart. She's too good-willed.
Unless there's a mysterious hallway, then she has to go look at it.
I was like kind of like 70-30 on whether Justin Long was gonna live or not. But, like, I was like, yeah, that would be the right outcome for him to get his eyes gouged out and then his head squished.
Yeah.
Literally
like
split in half.
Yeah. And then the incest monster who has survived, like, so much. Getting killed by Tess was, like, the most appropriate thing.
It was so sad, too.
The most flaccid one is probably just Keith's dead.
Yeah,
death.
he was just so fast.
No, the most flaccid one is the fucking murderer guy.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Because he just
takes the gun and shoots
lazily
himself.
takes a gun out of a dresser and just shoots himself.
Maybe? I feel like that seems appropriate. He's been found out I have an entire stack of evidence because I like to film myself rape women.
Yeah.
Don't take that out of context, please. And
44.
Jeez.
Grabbing that.
just edit in audio jungle. And now this is the end of the road. I'm not gonna survive in jail. I'm gonna kill myself.
Right.
Granted, I think it's interesting he took that route instead of just shooting Justin Long.
I mean, like, he's a decrepit old man. He probably was just like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's time for me to quit. But I'm surprised. Like, what's a little bit unclear though is like how long did he continue for?
Yeah, I agree. Like,
So I think the villain of the movie. I mean, like, sorry, the monster of this movie, the incest mommy milkers. I think she's the last one. So yeah, so it really seemed that the unnamed rapist man from the 80s, probably like his last one was the incest monster mommy with the mommy milkers. And he hasn't like touched anyone since then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he seemed like kind of just shriveled and decrepit and like
Oh yeah.
and like it's kind of like it's also great.
He looked like the closest a living person could come to becoming the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah. He was already a corpse. But like, yeah, he already, cause like as evidence of like kind of the sets dressing, cause like it's always great whenever the set and environment can build a character. He
Yeah.
has like kind of like a bell system.
yeah.
You know, he can pull on the bell and it'll it's
Summon the
summon
beast.
his monster, his Frankenstein's monster, to do stuff for him. But like he had such a stack of like videos, and he had the
names and stuff on them.
the room with the bucket, and like there's so much just kind of like evidence that yeah, he was an incredible piece of shit.
Yeah.
And Jake Long Justin
Justin.
Long was the only one who saw it.
You're thinking of the American Dragon, Jake Long.
It's just so close. It just my brain, cartoons, anime. I don't know. My brain just trying to work it out.
So this was a great adaptation of American Dragon, Jake Long cross Dave the Barbarian.
Oh God, yeah. It was like if you took those two concepts and then was like, you added some comedy to it. This is that movie. Totally family friendly. Thank
Yeah.
you, Disney.
So, who was the Barbarian in this movie?
I honestly think it was the old man serial killer.
He's the I guess.
Yeah,
because like
and I
would-
think her being the barbarian was a red herring.
sort of, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Because like I was trying to wonder why this movie was called Barbarian in the first place.
Mhm.
I mean, like
I think
I
they're
don't-
just taking it from the sense of just how barbaric it is. Like that word being used for that, like describing that old man, that serial killer having such a
instead of a movie just called Rapist.
yeah, basically.
But that's not stereotypically what you think of a barbarian, though, right?
No, so
it's like just a serial murderer, rapist guy.
well, like
but-
we can infer that he was brutal to these women.
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, because if you remember the scene, or Justin Long, because it's like one of those moments where,
I think he's being called a barbarian because of how barbaric his methods were. Is what I'm saying.
and it's one of those moments where it's off screen, like
Yeah.
literally Justin Long is watching a video of him committing a crime,
Right.
The old guy committing a crime, and it's like he's just looking off to the side onto
Yep.
a TV that's off screen. And then he goes around and says, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
To kind of like escalate and like kind of paint how much of a piece of shit this guy is.
Right.
Yeah, because it really pops off when he like tells him like, because it started earlier when he's like, oh, there's gonna be cops swarming into this place, we're gonna get you out, and you saw the fear in his eyes.
Yeah.
He was like, the what?
The cops? What do you mean the cops? Who called the cops?
Are you a snitch?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think Zach Kreger visited Detroit and saw that there was a street called Barbary, and that's why he named the movie Barbarian. Because the house is on Barbary Street.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's a real place.
It could be. That could be another thing. I don't know.
You know what? It should have, Keith's name should have been Ryan, who rented a place on Barbary Street. He's Ryan at Barbary.
Barbarian. Yeah, we're good. That was a stretch, I know. Shut up. Anyways,
That was bad and you should feel bad.
fuck off. Just in general, everything in this movie was well made, well executed, and just well written.
Yeah, and like I alluded to earlier, I want a movie that takes place in the 80s, with the creepy old guy. I want to know the homeless man's history that got his arm ripped off.
I would like to figure out how the homeless man like figured out that this was happening and was
Right.
able to avoid being fucking murked.
I want to see what happens to Barbary Street, because they lightly allude to it during the 80s flashback, where he was telling, or like one of the neighbors was like, yeah, everyone's moving, are you gonna leave? And he's like, oh, a brilliant piece of characterization. Also, he was like, I'm never leaving this place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a piece of him is shown on screen that he is so like kind of just like persistent and
committed at this point.
yeah, stubborn to not ever leave this place. He has like, it isn't like really revealed why he likes this house so much. Maybe he spent so much time on the super basement.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's what I was thinking. I think Super Basement took a lot.
It's an investment, you know?
Once you put that much work in that house,
Yeah,
that's
you
your forever
can't go
home.
back. Yeah, right.
I mean, it's not like you're gonna do it again.
True. I would like to know what happened to those city cops.
They worked their shift and went to their families.
Yeah, continuing to ignore a bunch of phone calls.
I would like just a small little like, just a small little scene of them and like going through like their everyday like.
You know what
day
would
of
put
the
this
scene?
what would put this over the top, because like, so the credits is like just literally Tess hobbling down the street.
Yeah.
I would want a an Animal House style ending where the credits music is playing and it has an epilogue slide of a bunch of people going like, and like the Justin Long's colleague that he raped.
He's just like telling the news. Yeah, like
it's like, Marilyn went on to star in the pilot that Justin Long never finished and became a huge megastar.
His friend-
the Detroit cops all
went home and went to bed.
and fucked their wives.
His friend called like the BBC and then told him, I don't know.
Tess went to go find a new place and
Never come back to Detroit.
well, no, she still has to finish the film.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to remote do stuff for this movie. I'm never
Bon-
coming back here.
Bonnie is still at her job.
Yeah. Still double booking.
Yep, all the time.
It's not her. It's not her, guys.
It is.
It is.
It is her. 100%. But, yeah. And like we said earlier, we all really liked Barbarian. You can, I guess, is there any final words you guys want to say about it?
Watch Miss March.
Watch Miss March.
Watch Miss March.
Yeah.
I want people to start making references to horsedick.mpeg.
And not look at Kevin weird every time he makes a reference in public and goes, no, guys, it's from a movie, I swear.
One day.
Mike, anything to say?
That's all I got. I go into these things blind. It was a good time. Watch it with friends. Don't watch it alone.
With that, you can find us at Twitter at Bun Cinema. If you want to help support us, you can find us at patreon.com/cinemabuns.
And if you want to support us even more, we'll be opening a bunch of Airbnbs in the Phoenix area.
Yes. But don't look in the basement.
Hold up. I still need to design that. Hold on.
With,
Jamie!
with that, I'm gross incest titty.
I'm Mike.
And I'm the homeless man missing an arm.
And that's it. Bye.
Suck ass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch with us. We're Cinema Bar.